So I've reviewed a couple mid-range smartphones with great features, but I haven't seemed to come across any budget option that was worth reviewing. But after searching, I think I've found one. I think this is one of the best budget smartphones, and I'll tell you all about it right after this intro. What's up guys, it's Ryan here with another video, and today I'm going to be sharing my experience with the Oneplus Nord N20 5G. So if you're new here, smash that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you don't miss my next video. Not often do you find the word budget, quality, and great being used in the same sentence when it comes to budget smartphones. However, with the Oneplus Nord N20, I think we could definitely use those words in the same sentence to describe this phone. So as I always do, let's start with the price. The Oneplus N20 comes in at $299 on Amazon, and that is a pretty good price for what you get. The N20 has a flat boxy design that kind of resembles an iPhone. The finish of the N20 is a hard plastic that has an anodized metallic look and only comes in this blue color that I have here. One of the good things about the material is that it doesn't show fingerprints. The only place you might see fingerprints is on the display. The volume rocker button is located on the left and the power button is located on the right. I like the way I was able to reach the buttons with one hand based on how they were positioned. The N20 is not a small phone. I would say it's the perfect size, big enough to watch content comfortably. And you can see this when I put it next to my iPhone 12 Pro Max. This phone is also lightweight for its size when compared to other smartphones. It charges via USB Type-C and doesn't support wireless charging. It also has a headphone jack, which I was surprised to see because that's something we really don't see on smartphones these days. The N20 only has one speaker that puts out average sound, but it's good enough for viewing content and playing games. But you're limited to games that run at 60 Hz or lower. And with that being said, let's talk about the display. The N20 has a 6.4-inch 1080p 60Hz AMOLED display that looks pretty sharp. Games that are optimized for 60 Hz run pretty well and content plays smoothly without lag. The N20 also comes with an always-on display and a fingerprint reader built into the display that requires you to place your finger firmly for it to work. The bezel is pretty thin, but as you can see here, the N20 has a normal size chin. Powering the N20 is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 chipset coupled with the Qualcomm Adreno 619 GPU. The N20 comes with 60GB of DDR4 RAM and 128GB of storage that works in conjunction with the Snapdragon chipset to give a seamless experience. You can also add external storage via a microSD card. The Oneplus N20 comes with a 4500 mAh battery that supports fast charging at a limit of 33 watts. I was able to get through a full day of use without the battery dying, and I think that is definitely good enough for most people. Now let's talk about the camera, in which there are three. So there's a 64 megapixel main camera that has a 1.4 aperture, which is able to capture good enough images in the right condition. The second camera is a 2 megapixel macro camera with a 2.4 aperture. And the third camera is a 2 megapixel depth camera with a 2.4 aperture. The camera setup is pretty unique because it's my first time coming across a setup like this. For photography, you get regular photos, portrait, macro, and panorama, which is the case with most phones. And for video, there is no 4K recording on either the front or rear camera, just 1080p up to 30 frames a second. So the 64 megapixel camera takes good pictures, nothing to really brag about. But I think having good lighting is the key to getting good shots. Portrait mode does do a good job when it comes to separating the subject from the background, as you can see here. The macro camera works, but on this phone, I don't think it's a feature that most people will use. Well, I don't think I'll use it, but if you do want to use it, the feature is there. Panorama is the same on all phones, just taking multiple pictures and stitching them together to create one big picture. But as it relates to video, I honestly wouldn't purchase this phone for its video capabilities, because as I stated earlier, there is no 4K, only 1080p, and no 60 frames a second, only 30 frames a second. So I guess it's okay for video, but it's not great. The front camera is a 16 megapixel hole punch camera with an aperture of 2.4. Selfies are okay. Not spectacular. Honestly, it's not bad. I guess that's one of the trade-offs at this price. But there are a few cons that I think you guys might want to take into consideration. So for starters, there's no face unlock, but that's something that I really don't expect at this price point. Also, there's no wireless charging, but I really don't think that should be a deal breaker. But the biggest con is that the N20 only gets 5G with T-Mobile or Sprint or any other carrier that is owned by T-Mobile. So no Verizon or AT&T. So in conclusion, I think my experience with the Oneplus N20 was great. And when we're talking about this phone, we always got to take the price into consideration because it's pretty cheap for what you get. So personally, I think the Oneplus N20 is a great budget smartphone that would make a lot of people happy. And based on its build quality and features, I would definitely argue that it is one of the best in its price range. And if you're thinking about picking one up, I will be linking it in the description below. So guys, that's it for this video. Leave a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks for watching and catch you guys in the next one. Peace.